guys, I am Ethan von Espejo and I am here for a quick review about a book entitled Burned Alive by SOUAD. Burned Alive is a book published in the year 2004. It tells about the true story of a 17-year-old girl who calls herself SOUAD. She was from one of the villages in the West Banks. She escaped from an honor killing and she tells us the story of the life in their village. Women there are treated very poorly. They were thought of as less than animals and had to do all the work around the house, while the brothers were envied and looked up upon. Women were beaten brutally on a daily basis by their fathers and brothers. Sowad was a victim of this abuse. Women could not leave the house unless they were fetching water or milking the cows. They could also not look a man in the eye or have sex until marriage. If a woman disobeyed these rules, they would be seen as a charmuta and would be punished severely, most of the time put to death by their own family members. Sowad committed her crime at the age of 17. Sowad believed that she was in love and began communicating with her neighbor. While her parents were out, they would meet up secretly. Sowad then discovered that she was pregnant. Sowad's family found out that she was pregnant and they arranged to kill her. One day, while Sowad's parents and siblings were out and she was washing clothes outside, her brother-in-law came over to her. He poured gasoline all over her and lit a match to set her on fire. Sowad ran away crying and screaming in pain. She ran through the garden and fell to the ground. Two women nearby spotted her and began patting her with towels to get rid of the fire. They took her to the hospital where Sowad was falling in and out of consciousness. A lady by the name of Jacqueline, who traveled around the world and helped save abused women. She wanted to help Sowad. She devoted her time to saving her and her baby boy. She took Sowad to Europe and gave her an education. Sowad gives away her child so that he can live a better life than she had. She ends up getting married and has two children. She decides whether or not to tell her children that they have a brother. She then writes the story of her life. And that was the whole synopsis of the story. While I was reading the book, I felt sad and I was also confused because I didn't think that there are still traditions that are being practiced in some places in the world where women are being treated differently. And I think this reflects on what's happening in our society today, because I think um, gender inequality is still an issue in our generation. Um, I think wants to share her story to us so that we are aware and we can make a stand about this issue. Um, when I was reading the book, I felt her sad. I felt the sadness of Sowad when she said that um, being born a girl in our village is a curse, because I think in that moment she was very tired of what the people are treating the she was tired on how the people are treating her and the other girls on the village. And for me the story was great, and I like the flow of the story. I like the plot, and I like how the story ends where she had her family, and sh- she moved to another place where she began to tell her story to the world. And for the physical appearance of the book, it's just plain black. It has no designs, and I think this suits the theme of the story, where the story is dark. And that's all. Overall, I like the story, and I think this is worth reading for, and that's all.